Alright, it's time to see which controller is the ultimate Nintendo Switch GameCube / Pro controller. The all-new Exlene wireless GameCube controller or the tried and true Power A wireless GameCube controller. Let's find out. Everybody, how are y'all doing? Before we get started with this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's get it over 300 likes, boy. Alright, dudes, it's in the mail. It's finally come in the mail. The Exlene wireless GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch. Now, disclaimer, they did not send me this product. Shout out to one of my sponsors, Scott. He tipped me onto this, and so I ordered this, paid for it with my own money through Amazon, and so I'm going to compare this with you guys. Compare the Power A wireless controller with the all-new Exlene wireless GameCube controller. Now, on paper, this controller trumps this controller in pretty much every category, but the jury is still out. I still have to feel it. We're going to test it out live with Cuphead. I think Cuphead is a challenging game that really lets you see how the controller feels. And I'm going to give you guys my final recommendations on which GameCube controller, Pro controller, has all 4 buttons that you should choose for your Nintendo Switch. I like this device, but you're going to see some huge upgrades with this bad boy right here. And I think this was about 40, no more than 40 bucks, between 30, around 35 bucks for this. So it was, it's cheaper. This device is actually cheaper than this one, and it has more features and functionalities based on the product description. So let's find out. First, let's open it up. Here it is. Also, all right, the first reason why this controller, I'm going to take it out the wrapper in a second, trumps the Power A controller, USB-C. It's rechargeable. Bro, the Power A controller, AA batteries. L-A-M-E. Lame in 2019 for it to, oh, I just turned it on. Uh-oh. Lame for 2019 for a controller to still have AA batteries. And so let's take this out. It's see-through. Oh, this wasn't in the product description. No. All right, this is my green screen. Let me turn off the green screen, the chroma key, just so you guys can see the device, see the color, see it right here. Boop. There it is. All right, this is the device. I got the OG GameCube color, and I have to say right off the bat, this feels more like a GameCube. This is somehow, it's slimmer. They're very similar, but this one is a little slimmer than this one. It's also lighter. The Exlene controller is lighter than the Power A controller. I can tell the AA batteries are making this just a slightly heavier. They're both light, but this one is lighter, and it has USB-C. That is a big difference, especially if you don't want to constantly change AA batteries. Now, a couple things that this controller has that this controller, the Power A, is missing. This controller has a turbo button where you could program turbo to different buttons on the device, so slightly programmable. And they both have motion aiming. But This one has rumble. This one has no rumble whatsoever. Now, this is an HD rumble, but it does have rumble feedback. And so those are three huge upgrades with this controller. It's rechargeable. It has motion aiming, which it also, the other one has. It has a turbo button. That's the second big upgrade. And it has rumble feedback. Now, let me feel both controllers. Oh, another reason this controller is potentially better. Well, I know why in this area it is better than the Power A controller. One annoying thing with the Power A controller, the original GameCube controller, the triggers were analog, pressure sensitive, and then you have that click at the end. This has there's no pressure sensitivity, but it still has that long input. So if you're pushing the R, it takes longer to trigger the right trigger or the left trigger, depending on what game you play. But there's no analog functionality. It's pointless to still have the spring analog feel. It just makes it longer to push the button. This digital, it's an immediate click. It has a slight spring to it, but as you can see, it's immediate click once you push the button. And so the triggers on this controller is better. The feel is better. As far as button responsive, oh man, I'm just being honest. And again, this company did not pay me. This is just my initial impressions. Crossing my fingers when we actually get into gameplay to see if it actually delivers when it comes to gameplay. And I may do a follow-up video after about a month of using it to see how it compares with this one. But the build quality with this controller is better than the Power A in every way. There is a slight, I don't know what it is. It's like a slight cheap feel to the buttons when you press them on the Power A controller. This feels more like a first-party controller as far as the buttons and even the left trigger, the left stick. Now, there is one area where I think the Power A controller trumps this Exlene GameCube controller, the D-pad. There is a larger D-pad on the Power A controller. So if you use the D-pad a lot, the D-pad on this one is smaller. Let me get my original GameCube controller, 1 second, and I can compare it. Alright. I literally said 1 second. That was more like 2 seconds. I see why this one is smaller. This mirrors more closely the original GameCube controller. It's in fact the same exact size as the original GameCube controller. How does it feel? Similar feel. It's a little more tight, but this is the same exact size as the original GameCube controller, which was small. The Power A D-pad is a little larger. All right, and so on paper, so far, this Exlene GameCube wireless GameCube controller is better than the Power A in virtually every category. It has the 4 triggers, motion aiming, just like the Power A, but this one has rumble, and a big one for me is it's rechargeable. I could just plug in my USB-C. Booyah. It also came with this device. I guess this is to open it to I don't know what this is for. I have to look up the instructions. But usually this is to like trigger open something. All right. Now, all of that on paper is good, but it means nothing if the controller doesn't actually work like it should. And so, let's try out. This is all me live. I'm recording this, but this is live. Let's play a game. And you know what I just thought about? I want to test out the motion aiming too. So I'm going to actually play Splatoon 2. because Splatoon 2 has motion aiming. Let's do Cuphead and Splatoon 2. Cuphead will give us a sense of how the D-pad feels, and Splatoon will test out the motion aiming for us. And so we're testing this all out live, just so you guys, if you're on the fence of getting an additional controller and you want a GameCube controller, which one to choose. All right, first let's connect it to the Switch using the USB-C. Let's see how easy it is to set up. All right, most Pro controllers, you just plug it in and play and it connects automatically. Let's do it. I'm plugging it in the back, USB-C, and it's lighting up. Booyah! It pairs just like a charm. And there is, you can't really see it, but there's 4 lights right here at the bottom that lets you know. All right, it says paired. All right, let me see, is it paired? All right, I read the instruction manual and it said in the system settings, you have to turn Pro Controller wired communication to on. And so you have to turn that to on in order for the controller to work. And the light, it is lighting up. So let me go back to, let me unplug this, see if it'll work. Is it gonna work? Is it working? Booyah! It works! All right, so that was the key. You have to turn Pro Controller wired communication to on. And now we have it working. To test out the D-pad, we're going to play Mortal Kombat on the Switch. I'm going to pick Sub-Zero, and I'm going to be throwing his freeze fireball, oxymoron. This always gives me a good idea of how good a D-pad is. If you can consistently, it allows you to consistently do your quarter circles. The D-pad is legit. So let's test out the D-pad using Mortal Kombat, and then we're going to test out motion aiming in Splatoon 2, and I'm going to give you a final verdict on this controller. Alright, that's alright. Down, forward. Which one is, okay, that is down, forward, and Y. That's the oh, alright. D-pad is legit, ladies and gentlemen. It's small, but it's legit. Yeah, you can get those quarter circles in easy. Practice the slide, yep, and the slide, oh yeah. Alright. Yep, so far the D-pad gets a green light. It's legit. It's smaller, but it gets the job done. It does get the job done. Alright, so it's passed the D-pad test for me. Now, for the Switch, this is the ultimate test. Motion aiming. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Motion aiming works like a charm, and you can feel the rumble. Bro! Oh, I just found my new controller. I just found my controller. All right, let's do one match. I'm going to do one ranked match. It's on Walleye, bro. It's on Walleye, bro. Come on. Come on. All right, dudes. We just played a match of Splatoon. The motion aiming gets 2 thumbs up. Overall, with this controller, I'm in love. This is my favorite controller right now for the Switch in such a short time. Now, disclaimer. This is only from my first day use, but everything about this controller is amazing. Almost too good to be true. Holla at me in a month. In a month, I'm going to come back and tell you guys what I think about this controller after a month of use. But right now, I would recommend. This is the Exlene wireless GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch. Again, they did not pay me to do this video. I bought this. You want me to go get my receipt? I'll go get it, boy. I bought it online on Amazon, so I'm not showing y'all my personal information. But dope controller. Of course, it's see-through right now because my green screen is back on. But it's better than the Power A controller in pretty much every way. All right, dudes. What do you guys think of my thoughts, my review on this controller? Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things Nintendo. We out. Deuces. Gamecube, that Mario Sunshine.